I've cleared some space and this is what we're working on today. Our Vietnamese stacks here, we are expanding. I did kind of mess up how much terrain I took out. Like I was only supposed to go to like this one block behind here, and on this side and at the top there I took out way too much. Don't know how I messed that up. That's why I should have been using Lightmatica and not just guessing. But I took out all the details on the side of the building too, because we're going to be building right up next to it, and like same as these ones, how they sit like right up next to each other like that. The inspiration for what we're building today is obviously Vietnam, but specifically a photo that I took over in Vietnam, and I'm kind of splitting the photo in half. So half's on this side here and half is on the other side here. Hopefully you're seeing the photo right now. The annoying part of this build is definitely going to be the materials. It was with this build that I did for my starter base, and it's just so many little details. I did design the build in creative mode like a long while ago. I did that because it's so much easier to just have every block on hand. To this point, the reason that I hadn't built it yet is mostly because I've been battling a little bit of decision paralysis. I guess it worked out for the best though, because I ended up designing these trees in the meantime and putting in this forest and this foliage down the bottom that I am super proud of. You know, thankfully a lot of the materials that I needed were already in storage, or there were shops selling them, albeit a lot of the time taken for the material gathering was just going through my own storage and maybe waiting for some copper to oxidize. You may have noticed, if you've got a keen eye or have seen some previous videos, that I now have obtained an elytra. That is a big thanks to Ikeberg himself, because he joined me on a big ol' end raid side quest that was interesting. I, considering that I didn't have an elytra already, had the grand idea to bring along a dried ghast to use to traverse the end. Of course, a fully grown happy ghast wouldn't fit through a portal, so I had to take it through as a dried ghast and chuck it in a water source in the end. Only I forgot that it takes about 20 minutes for it to like undry. I don't know what terminology to use there. And then the time taken for it to grow up can be sped up with snowballs. Only I forgot snowballs. So Ike and I headed back to the overworld and grabbed some snow from his snow shop. After finally returning, we waited. And about 5 minutes later, Ike asked if I brought a harness. So Ike went back to the overworld to get a harness, while I stayed to keep the chunks around the little guy loaded. And after that, it was pretty smooth, slow, but smooth sailing into a solid 3 or 4 elytra each and a load of shells. And I feel like this is probably the case for everyone, but I swear we went like 3,000 blocks and didn't find anything. It was like a good 20 minutes of just flying on the ghast, finding nothing. And then we found our first city, and I reckon we found like 7 or 8 really quickly after that. Like within 30 seconds, we'd fly in one direction and we'd just like spot another one straight away. Really weird how it's like you kind of see one and then find everything. It's like the red bus effect. I probably butchered that, but it's like when you're waiting for the bus and you wait for ages, and then as soon as the bus comes, there's 2. It's a weird thing. Anyway, thank you, Pokey, because I bought some wool from your wool farm that I saw you build in one of your recent episodes. Expanding a tad on my previously mentioned decision paralysis, I asked SimplyKnight to help me brainstorm some ideas, and later in the video I'll hop in my creative world and show off what Knight and I kind of got up to and worked on. I'll go a little bit more in depth into the ideas that I had in the real decision making process, a little look into my brain. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the material gather ramble, and ignore that I'm flying. I seriously think that we just about have one of every block in the game. This is everything now, finally. And like this shulker box, we have one single polished andesite stairs. So there's 4 single items there, and then there's that as well. The good thing is, because I already had built this, a lot of the materials I kind of only had like, I already had just one pale oak button laying around anyway, so it was pretty easy to get that up. And then I got the diorite too, because I'm going to hopefully expand out this sort of terrain that I have down here with these platforms, and try to make that the background of these buildings. Again, this is something I've been fighting with that decision paralysis. I haven't been able to find a sort of design that works perfectly, and I think that that's the problem. I've been trying too hard to be perfect, and I just need to get something built. So I guess that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to build it and worry about everything later. But before we get into building, it was mentioned there's a few shops that need to be restocked, and I think that I'm the problem. So let's go back to spawn. I feel like since I last showed off the shopping district, a lot has changed. There's a bunch of new shops that look pretty awesome. Pizza also built a bank, which is insane. The redstone in here is like actually mind-boggling. I'll show you through the floor. Yeah, it's just a whole lot of spaghetti. I haven't yet set up my account, but I am very excited to do that. But my actual shop is over down this way as I zoom over. I actually probably should set up a nice path that goes down to it. Maybe down here I could build a staircase similar to that side. Okay, sleep. Let's see what we've got. Oh, yeah, so I definitely was the problem. What do we got here? Okay, lovely. Any sales in here? No, I fully don't expect to sell any of this ever. Mushrooms, bingo, and other mushrooms. No. Okay, well, honestly, that's not a bad haul. I need to go and get some more of this, I guess, now. So let's go do that. Not a full restock, but that'll do for now. Okay, and now it is time to actually build the rest of these buildings in. I've got 4 more, well, I mean, you've seen the photo. I've got 4 buildings that I'm going to sprout, so let's get straight into it. I have some pretty exciting news and a bit of a milestone that I've reached. I am now a YouTube partner, so if you want to support me, check out the channel memberships or have a sauce on my Patreon for better benefits too. When I started this channel, by no means did I expect to continue doing it for what's now nearly 2 years, let alone make it to the point of monetization. With my first 5 to 10 videos, I was getting less than 30 views consistently. Very slowly, after months and many videos, I made it to getting hundreds of views consistently. And just in November last year, I had my first 1,000 view video. After that, I had another 1,000 view video, and then I reached the 2,000s. And 3 and 4, and now just over a month ago I had a video reach 10,000 views, which is my most viewed video to date, and just bonkers. Of course, this growth wasn't perfectly linear, and when a video didn't do well, I kept making videos and I got better, because sometimes the video would get half the views of the previous one, but overall, I stuck with it and the growth trended upwards exponentially. I don't think that I magically started getting views at any one point. I believe that I've spent so much time practicing, making different videos and learning to build, that the quality of my videos has improved drastically, and the quality of my builds have improved with it, the same way you get better at anything, with practice and with time. So I do want to take the time to say, from the bottom of my heart, I cannot put into words how much I appreciate everybody who watches my videos, everyone who leaves a comment, and everyone who subscribes or likes. Thank you so much for getting the channel to where it is, and I can't wait to keep going and continue improving. In sort of celebration of this milestone, and by kind of popular demand, I've started a Speck Skittles Discord server, so come hang out if you're keen for a little bit more behind the scenes or to talk to me just in general. One of the greatest pleasures of making these videos is the community that it creates. I also want to give a special shout out to my girlfriend because she's been Speck's #1 fan since I created the channel and has given me paragraphs of feedback throughout this journey, and I don't think this channel would be where it is today without her unconditional support. Alright, that's enough of me rambling on. Let's get back to the final build. You know, I've been thinking that down here I should extend this kind of like more brown colors out to the edge of this, at least this Y level. It would kind of make sense for this whole area to be a little bit muddier because it's the lowest area, and I want the path to sort of be less man-made and more like it's just been walked on many times, like a desire path. I feel like by extending out and getting rid of this moss, that could do a very good job at doing that. Anyway, that's not really what we're looking at right now. I want to show off and talk about these buildings a little bit. I am thinking that this tree it really does suck because I really like this tree, but I may have to tear it down and move it somewhere else because it does kind of block our view, especially from up here. And I missed. Yeah, this view here, like, it does just kind of block that one angle. If I kind of flipped it and made it go the other direction, it could be cool. I might just make a shorter tree here and then move the archway, just completely rip it out of the ground and put it somewhere else. I think that could be beneficial to this overall picture that I'm getting. And I want to extend this forest over here. I had so much fun building the forest floor, so I think definitely some more trees on this side could be cool. Those glowberries have grown so much. Playing on a server really does influence your builds because I'm going to have to put some string under that. Normally in my single player world, stuff doesn't grow that quick, but it's been maybe a week or two since I built this. Yes, I have been taking ages to record this, but that's crazy how much growth there's been. Let me get up here. Oh my goodness. It'd be nice if this ladder was actually a ladder. Yeah, I've got string for the vines, but I didn't put it for the glowberries, which is a little bit strange on my front. That'll do for now. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. These new buildings are much bigger and they kind of add a lot more color. Like this blue is really cool. Very vibrant red, yellow. I do like it. This tree's got to go. I was thinking that these shelves, I might put like little blocks in there or like a ridge. In fact, let's do that right now. Okay, my initial thoughts sort of, oh, that's not going to work, is it? Let's see. We go banner in the middle one. Oh, that's not the middle. And just because I have a lot of it, we'll go iron blocks here. And that's the whole stack. That's not going to work. Iron blocks might actually be a little bit too big. Let me out of the orchids. Yeah, that does look really cool. Just like the little pattern. And I'm going to do that on every level. And I feel like that is going to be really cool. That is going to mean I need more wool for these banners. So I guess I got to go somehow find some white wool. There was a ridiculous number of rockets wasted to get up here. In fact, it was my last one that got me up. But now we are done. Yeah, that's a really subtle detail, but boy, does it make a difference. It's little things like that that just make me so happy in the builds. Now I'm trying to think of what else I can do. Like maybe I need to get some words written on these banners, and maybe I can fill in these shelves too. Words on these banners and the signs. Pretty sure that I have some words on the signs, but yeah, I made that up. Don't call that phone number. But that's the sort of thing that I feel like that just makes a world of difference. Like just like that extra step. I don't know what really is going on here. But maybe I could do words like maybe what I could do is spell something out on the banners and put the banners in. Did that make sense? Put put letters on banners, but the banners with the letters in the shelves to spell something out. That could be cool. In fact, I'm probably going to do that, but that'll be in between episodes, because right now what I want to do is show you what was going on in my creative world when I hung out with SimplyKnight, and kind of take you through my thought process on why I placed these buildings where they are now. So let's just get straight into that, I guess. Okay, this is one of many worlds. I have the buildings kind of put off to the side here. At one point, the idea that this could go kind of on the side. This building here would go, oh, there you go. It's kind of here. It would go here, and then the other three here. But obviously, I did end up deciding to put 2 there and 2 on the other side. And then this was another thought to make it this sort of little valley. And I'll probably... you'll see a sort of expanded version of this as well, maybe in another one of the worlds. Yeah, this was an idea, and then I could have more buildings. This was a very, like, I just copy pasted everything. They'll maybe put the forest throughout it, but it just doesn't feel like... I really love having that kind of like picture shot, and with this there's no real like angle to look at it, and I'm not a big fan of that, but it would be a really cool thing to walk around throughout. It would be really, really cool. And I love building bridges, so it would be cool to have the bridges going across. But anyway, I didn't decide on this, and that's okay. Let's check out the next world. This is the one that I was in with Knight. We were practicing building mountains. So ignore these mountains. They're likely never going to be built. I would design from like a fresh new mountain if I was going to build a mountain somewhere. Like, I'm still interested in doing it because this is really cool. I really like this color scheme. I used it in my Vietnam Valley video as well, where it's got that transition from moss into the bamboo, endstone, sandstone. It's really cool. So that was my attempt, and then this red over here was Knight's attempt. So this was kind of expanding on that idea of having this valley in the middle. And then I was trying to work out what I would do with the backside of the build, or maybe the mountain could do, but decided against it overall. And then there was the idea of kind of just opening it up. Yeah, this is a real jumbled mess, but kind of opening it up in here and having the buildings face each other like this. Same way they would be here, but kind of just like splitting straight through the middle of the mountain, like through there. And I almost did that. Like, I was very, very close to just pulling the trigger and doing that, but I kind of had the same problem where there's no like good angle of it. Obviously you can still like walk around in it, but there was just no real good angle, and that really bummed me out, so I went away from it. Okay, so this is world number 3, and I think I got a little bit stamp happy where I just placed a whole bunch of these trees, and yeah, I'm just trying to work out kind of how to put these buildings, because I did consider for a while completely tearing down the original build and rebuilding it somewhere else. That would have been interesting, because I wanted to try to work out like what the best ratio was with these builds, but I ended up keeping it and splitting this one in half. I have no idea what I was trying to do with this world, but it's my fourth copy, and I think I was doing the same idea where I'm moving this. I might have, I think, moved it backwards a little bit as well, a few blocks, and I experimented with a little bit of moss and stone. I don't know if you can call that terraforming. And then like the first ideas of the diorite moss, but I just do squares because it's simple to begin with. And this is the final world, and this is what I pretty much used as the schematic. I think that this worked out, and actually I did go ahead and try to build the tree pointing the other way diagonally, so now we have that nice view, especially if you lower the FOV. There's a cool view, and I think that it's cool because this building that is over in the corner here is pretty simple, very, very plain. I thought that it would be okay for the tree to kind of cover it a little bit. I just wanted to be able to see this building. That's the main reason I wanted to move it from kind of coming through that way. All in all, the moral of the story is that I was trying to be perfect. I was trying to find the perfect solution to the problem, and by doing that, I just spent so long in creative mode banging my head against the brick wall, and I think that what I've done in the end has actually turned out really nicely. I think I'm super happy with it, and I think that I've kind of accepted the problem more so than having solved it. And I think that I'm just going to stray away from trying to be that perfect, and I'm just going to accept that sort of 80% rule where you don't 100% perfect everything, you just do everything to 80% your capacity, because that last 20% takes so much more from you than that first 80% did. And I think I was trying too hard. So yeah, it's actually taken me so long to make this video that my mushroom store has run out of stock again. So I'm going to go fill that back up. There we go, 64 and 3 diamonds. And let me just grab the rest of the stock. Perfect. Fully restocked. That is beautiful. 67 diamonds. I'm actually pretty sure that if I was fully bought out, that would be 54 diamonds that I should have sold. So I've been given 13 extra, which makes me think that someone intentionally made it 67 diamonds. Interesting choice. You know, where I've ended up here, I think, is a pretty good spot. This is not a bad spot to end the video, and I'm definitely overdue for a video. It's been like 4 weeks, maybe more, but I have been working so much. I've been working 40-hour weeks, so I've just been exhausted and struggling to find the time. In 5 weeks' time, I'm moving over to France, so hopefully I'll be a little bit more available. I think I'm supposed to be working 30 hours a week over there, so I should have a little bit more time. Obviously, I do want to also enjoy the fact that I'm in France, but there should be more to come. I'm loving it. As always, I appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.